Hey folks, how you doing? This is Tony Viz the Tone. I'm back here. This is my Impact recap. Overall, the show was a little bit weaker than usual. Not quite as good, but it wasn't absolutely motherfucking horrendous either. Sorry, I'm just in a little bit of a giddy mood today. I do have a cold. I'm feeling a little under the weather, but hey, the show goes on anyway. So let me get into this. Show started. Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray, whatever the hell you want to call him, comes out. He says he's got a huge announcement to make. He says hell must have frozen over because as of right now he's officially going live on Twitter, and he says he'll be trending worldwide. And he says that Joseph Park had the nerve to smack him and challenge him to a match. And Bubba says no one tells him what to do. He's going to tell Joseph Park what to do. So then Joseph Park comes out, and then Bubba asks if he's got something to say. He's like, "You want an answer?" And he says that he's tougher than Joseph Park is, and he accepts his challenge for next Thursday on Impact. So then Joseph Park mentions that he beat Bubba Ray at Slammiversary, and he says that he's watched Bully Ray bully everyone in the back long enough, and he's tired of it. And he says the next Thursday night he'll beat Bubba again. And then Bubba asks, "Is this like last time at Slammiversary? Is this going to be Anything Goes too?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be Anything Goes." So sorry about that. So then Ray says that Joseph might want to worry about this, and he gives him the sheet of paper, and it's a restraining order against his Joseph's brother. Oh man, I'm all over the place today. Abyss. So Bubba says he's got a restraining order against Abyss. Yeah, so he can't come within 1,000 feet of him or whatever. And then Ray says that if he sees Abyss, if he does show up, if he sees him anywhere near him or whatever, he says he'll see that Abyss rots in jail for the rest of his life. And he sucker punches Joseph Park from behind. A good promo, good opening segment. I thought both guys were really good here, as usual. But the match next week is going to be the Thursday after the pay-per-view with Destination X is Sunday. I'll talk about that a little bit later too, I guess. So then they go backstage to Hulk Hogan and Austin Aries. Hulk is saying that he's going to hand over, Austin Aries is going to hand the X title over later. And then Aries says he was going to hold it till Sunday, but he'll hand it over later if that's what Hogan wants, as long as there's no shenanigans or whatever. And that was pretty much that segment. It was a solid segment. Hogan said, like what happens at Destination X could determine what'll happen to Impact, whatever. Then they recap the end of last week's show where Daniels, that whole thing with Dixie and Claire the pregnant crack whore, my phone's ringing. Then they go to I guess this was a pre-tape segment where a stupid camera guy walks up to Dixie. I guess it was in the empty Impact zone or whatever, sitting in the friggin' bleachers or whatever. And she's asking, the cameraman's asking her if she has any comment on AJ being the dad, or if she knows anything about him being the dad of Claire the pregnant crack whore's unborn child yet. And so she says she doesn't know. She tells the guy she doesn't know. And he's like, "Wait a minute, you haven't?" And then he just keeps asking her. And it's like, "No, I don't know." It's like, "Get out of here." So, that was so stupid. And for some reason, Bruce Pritchard, D'Lo, and Al Snow were sitting there too. I don't know why. Ridiculous segment. And then we get to Devon versus Crimson for the TV title. Devon wins. Crimson was kind of green here, so Crimson, his momentum's gone. Now that his undefeated streak is ended. So he's lost 2 matches now. Match was okay, like I said. It was short. Then afterwards, Crimson just fades away, and then Madison Rayne comes in the ring, and then she looks at Devon, and then she reveals who it is that she's been eyeing, and then she pushes Earl Hebner in the corner, and she makes out with him. It was just like, what the f*** are they doing here? It was like, this is who Madison Rayne has got the hots for. Earl freaking Hebner. Okay, I'll admit I wasn't expecting it to be him, but still. So, I thought it was going to be Devon. I thought since Devon had teamed with Garrett a few times, she was going to ask him about Garrett or whatever, and say that, oh, my crush is Garrett. Right. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. So anyway, so it's Earl Hebner. And then we go to Chris Sabin. He comes out on crutches, and my God, before I get into this, it's like it's a real shame. It's like the guy was out for a year with an injury on one leg, one knee. He comes back. He's got one match. He comes back his first match back, and then he injures his other leg, and he's going to be out for another like 6 to 9 months. That's just really a shame. That's just really a shame because the guy's so okay. The guy's really good. It's a shame that he's going to be. It's like the guy just returns from action and then he gets injured again right away. That's so unfortunate. That is so fucking unfortunate. So he comes out and he says, he's always dreamed about being a wrestler. And he says this is supposed to be his dream, but the injuries are making it a nightmare for him. And he says, he's talked with loved ones, family, whatever, and to the doctor a couple days earlier, and they all suggested that he should retire and find something else to do with his life. And then Bobby Roode comes out, and he just snatches the mic out of Sabin's hand, and he just says, "Oh boy, what a tragic story this is," blah blah blah. And he says, to see Chris Sabin, to see you here with the crutches and knee brace, it just looks so pathetic, just like the rest of the X Division guys. So and he says, it's like all the X Division guys are the same. They risk it all every night, and they get no reward for it. And Roode says that at Destination X, it's going to happen to Austin Aries. It'll be all pretty much all risk, no reward. He'll be Austin Aries will give up the X title and face the It Factor, and it's going to get beat. So Roode says that when it's all said and done, A-Double will have his career ended just like that, and or like this. And then Roode kicks Sabin. Sabin falls down. And then Roode kicks him. And he was taunting him, "Come on, get up, Sabin, get up!" He was kicking him, just taunting him. And then Austin Aries comes out and runs Roode off. Like I said, this was actually a good segment. I like that. Roode cut a really good heel promo here, and I like of course, Austin Aries coming out, running Roode off made sense since he'll be challenging him for the world title on Sunday. Good stuff, but like I said, a real freaking shame to see Sabin out injured again. Then we get to our X Division first round tournament match. We get Dakota Darso, who's the son of Barry Darso, who a lot of you know is Smash from Demolition or Repo Man, and he's taking on Flip Casanova, otherwise known as Flip Kendrick. I don't know much about the guy. Okay match. Flip. I keep thinking, Flip got the pin, and that's all the guy pretty much did was do flips. What happened was, it's like he was a bit off. It's like he potatoed Repo Jr. Dakota Darso. I think he broke his nose or whatever during the match when he potatoed him with a kick or whatever. And then when he went for his finisher, it was like some kind of like reverse 450 or whatever. He freaking landed right on his broken nose again. So it was just like So Dakota Darso was bleeding. So was bleeding from the nose pretty bad. I don't know. I hope his nose isn't broken or anything. But the match was all right. Flip did a lot of flips, and that was pretty much it. Because I don't know much about this Flip dude. But anyway, so then Brooke Tessmacher and Tara backstage, and originally what was supposed to happen was Gail Kim was supposed to get a rematch against Brooke Tessmacher tonight, and then her lawyers rescheduled it for next week or whatever. And Tessmacher, the cameraman asks, "Oh, why do you think that happened?" And Tessmacher says because Gail Kim is scared of her, and she would have beaten her, blah blah blah. And and she says that she has a tag match tonight with Tara. She says that Tara makes her and every other knockout who's held the Knockouts title proud. And then Tessmacher says that she wouldn't be Knockouts champion if it wasn't for her. And Tara calls her boo, and they hug each other, and it was what it was. I don't know what, so it's Boo Tessmacher now or whatever. I don't know what the hell's going on. But the tag match, well, we'll get to that in a moment. Then they recap the gut check segment from last Thursday with Taylor Hendricks getting the contract. Then we get to Brooke Boo Tessmacher and Tara against Gail Kim and Madison Rayne. Solid match. Tessmacher pinned Madison for the win. That was all right. really not much else to say about it. And I was like, I don't know, for some reason during the backstage promo, she kept acting like it wasn't going to be Gail Kim she was going to be facing. It's like, I was like, oh yeah, I would have beaten her. It's like, well, you could have pinned her in the tag match too. It would have been the same. So then AJ Styles is walking backstage. He's going to go to the ring and talk about Claire the Crack Whore next. So then we go to James Storm video package, and he just talked about his match with Jeff Hardy. It's coming up later, and just talking about how needing to win the Bound for Glory series and become a champion again. And then right after that, they just show him warming up in the locker room. So then the Phenomenal One comes out. AJ Styles comes out, recaps everything that's been happening. He says that everything Daniel said was wrong, and now that he's accusing him of being the dad to Claire's unborn kid or whatever. And AJ asks Daniels how he's going to make this stick, since everything else he said has been way off beat. So is the storyline. And then it's like AJ says he doesn't get what they're doing. Then Kazarian and Daniels come out. Kazarian says it's like AJ might not get what they're doing, but what AJ gets is junkie whores pregnant. Man. And then he says last week Kazarian said last week when he hit AJ with a chair, he tried to knock sense into his redneck skull, but but that didn't work out. And then AJ says he's gonna get his redneck hands on Kazarian and Daniels, and then it's like Daniels talks about AJ and Dixie just covering up for Claire with all that stupid crap, and then AJ says it's not about him and Dixie or him and Claire. AJ says this is about him and Daniels. And then he mentions how they had a match at Destination X. AJ and Daniels had a match a year ago at Destination X, and AJ won that. And then when that happened, Daniel showed what a jealous prick he really is. And so he said, unlike last year, this year AJ Styles asked for the match, and it's going to be last man standing. And he says that Daniels is no man, and at Destination X he'll just shut him up for good. This was good. I thought the guys cut the promos made this watchable. This whole storyline with Claire the pregnant crack whore is just so fucking ridiculous. It's just So I mean, the match at Destination X should be good though. So then we have backstage, and the camera guy who gets around everywhere. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he's asking Hulk Hogan's prediction for the Austin Aries Bobby Roode match. Then a couple of guys come in out of nowhere with an envelope, and they're saying they're not cowards. Throw the envelope on the table or the desk or whatever. Hogan opens it, and it's got playing cards or whatever. It's like an ace and an 8. I don't know. I thought it was a freaking drawing of one at first. I don't know what the fuck it was. And then there was a note saying that they'll see Hulk next week. Really weird segment. I mean, I think today mentioned later on in the show that it might have, it might be have something to do with the guys who attacked Sting a few weeks ago. So because when I first saw it, I was just like, what the hell is this about? So, but it might be a follow-up to the guys who attacked Sting. Who knows? Then they show Jeff Hardy getting warming up for the main event match, and they show a video package about how winning the Bound for Glory series means a lot to him. And he talks about the match with James Storm later. Then our next X Division tournament match, ROH World Tag Team Champion, but may not be for much longer, Kenny King versus some green dude named Lars Only, and Kenny King got the win. It was all right. Kenny King is a good worker, so he was able to make this okay. And afterwards, Christie asked Kenny King how it feels to be going to Destination X, and he says he came to TNA to be noticed. I guess he didn't feel that way in ROH. And then he says that on Sunday the King will be crowned. Okay, now before we go into anything else, Kenny King, one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Champions, Rhett Titus, the All Night Express. He had signed a contract. The contract expired, and from what I've been hearing on PW Insider, check that site, advertised him. That it's like he pretty much gave his word to ROH that he wasn't going to compete anywhere else, and he pretty much pulled a Mike Awesome on him. So, for those who remember, Mike Awesome jumped into WCW with the ECW Championship. I mean, from what I can get from it, I mean, I don't know, but that's so. I don't know what they're going to do with Kenny King going forward, ROH that is. So then they show an Austin Aries video package. He was talking about how he used to weigh 150 pounds when he started the wrestling business, and but now he's been to TNA for a while, and he's been in a lot of wars with guys like Bravo and Samoa Joe. And he says, it's like he's always found a way to win. While Rude was winning his matches with breaking bottles off the guys' heads, he was winning using using the Brainbuster. And he says, it's like he wants to use his current gold as a stepping stone for larger goals. Good video there. Then they show Kenny King and Austin Aries backstage. Because from what I heard, it's like they were part of a unit together, or they were like friends from back to the Ring of Honor days or whatever. They talk about, and Kenny King was saying the match he had or whatever, and then Austin Aries was like, yeah, man, you keep having matches like that, you'll be world champion, whatever. So then Kenny King walks off. Mr. Cameraman comes in again and asks if Austin Aries intends on relinquishing the X Division title later, and Aries says that he will, and on Sunday he'll become the new world champion. Main event match, we get to the Jeff Hardy James Storm Bound for Glory Series match. Really good match here, despite Jeff's freaky face paint, which I still wish he would ditch. Jeff got the pin, so he gets 7 more points in the series. Really good back and forth match. It was actually the best part of it was the best match of the night. So then, hold on, folks, bear with me. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I got a little bit of I have a cold today, so sorry about that. Bear with me here. So then we get to then Mike Tenay and Taz announced that Bound for Glory is going to take place in Phoenix this year on October 14th. Okay. Then we have a Kurt Angle video package saying that Ken Anderson's a fierce competitor and this and that, blah, blah, blah. It says the stakes are high at the Bound for Glory series. And he's saying if he can beat Anderson, he can win the title. It's like, and I'm just thinking, wait a minute. Angle has beaten Anderson before, and he's also been world champion before, too. So it's like, what the hell is that about? And then they had Ken Anderson talking about this series, too. I guess they'll be having a match next week or whatever. So then Hulk Hogan comes out. And he said, it's like, the fans are chanting his name. He just says he loves to hear the fans get this noisy and whatever. And he said the fans really got to get into it when guys like Jeff Hardy and James Storm come out. And he says they also go bananas when Austin Aries is in the ring. And then he tells Austin Aries to come out. Bobby Roode's music hits, and Roode comes out. He gets in the ring, and he gets the mic. Hulk cuts him off and tells him not to cross the line or whatever. Roode cuts him off and says, "Real brother." Roode says that he's the real world champion, and the only reason that Austin Aries has a world title match at all on Sunday is because of Hulk Hogan. So Roode says that Hogan has given everyone nothing but false hope to the fans and Austin Aries as well as the rest of the X Division. And Roode says that it's like when he beats Aries, Aries' blood will be on Hulk Hogan's hands. Then Austin Aries comes out and he says that it's like he can let Roode bask in the glory of being world champion for the next 3 days, or he'll let him because on Sunday this is it's like he'll take the belt off him pretty much. So he said he'll let him bask in being champion for the next 3 days. And then he said, I don't even remember what he said. He talked about option C, giving up the belt to get a title shot. And he said that it's like they can fit and he did an option A of saying it's like he can let Roode just continue yapping, or he can just come in here and act like nothing's going on, or he could do an option C. And that's not wait till Sunday and just they can finish what they started a week ago. But Roode, he says he's not scared of Roode, and that Sunday, he'll beat him for the belt. And so Aries pretty much challenges him to face him right now. Roode was like walking out of the ring, kind of hinting he was going to leave, and and then he came back in, swung at Aries with the world title. Aries ducked. And then Aries hit Roode with the X Division title. Roode falls out of the ring and drops the belt, literally. And then afterward, Aries hands over the X Division title, and then he picks up the world title and he holds it up. And that ended the show. So it ended with Austin Aries holding the belt up. That was a really good segment. That was a really great way to end the show. I thought. This Nation Next on Sunday should be a really good should be a good pay-per-view. I actually might get this one. So like I said, overall, I thought the show was okay. It wasn't like, like I said, it wasn't as good as past one. It wasn't as good as the show has normally been this week, but it wasn't totally horrendous either. Yeah, you had your stupid Dixie segment and Mr. Cameraman all over, but thank God no Butch there this week. No Brooke Hogan. And the pay-per-view should be good on Sunday, I'm thinking, So Jeff Hardy, James Storm was a good match. The X Division matches, I thought, they were okay, but they were a little bit, not quite as good as, the ones we got last week. So that was pretty much the show. I guess we can run down I'm pretty much going to do this from memory for you. The Destination X card, it's this Sunday. Of course, we got the main event to be Austin Aries versus Bobby Roode for the TNA World Title. AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels in a last man standing match. We'll have Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle. And then we have, I'm not even sure what they're doing here, but since Austin Aries relinquished the X title, they're going to be doing a tournament, and the tournament's going to be, the finals of that will be Ultimate X to crown a new X Division champion. And we're going to have 4 tournament matches or whatever. So what we have is, since it's going to be Sanjay Dutt, what's the other guy's name? Rashad Cameron, G's from Urban Wrestling Federation. Flip, whatever the hell his name is, Flip Casanova, Kendrick, and what's the other guy's name? Kenny King. Good God. I'm sorry, folks. I'm a little. Those are the guys who won the matches, and they also said that there's gonna be 4 tournament matches on the show. So what they're also gonna be doing is, also scheduled for the tournament are Kid Cash, Doug Williams, and Zema Ion. So that's 7 guys right there. You got Sanjay, Rashad Cameron, Kenny King, and Flip Casanova, Kendrick, whatever. And then they're going to have a 4-way with all the guys who lost the matches over the last couple of weeks. It's going to be Jigsaw, a.k.a. Rubix, Damian Andrews, Scorpio Sky, Dakota Darso, and Lars Only. Oh my God. In a 4-way. The winner of that will get the 8th slot in the tournament. So there'll be 4 tournament matches with those 8 guys. And I guess the 4 winners will go on to the Ultimate X match. And the winner becomes X Division champion. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with Kenny King right now. I'll check out Peter News for more updates, but we'll see what happens there. So anyway, Destination X should be a good show, and like I said, I thought Impact was a bit of a step down, a bit of a step backwards this week from what they've been doing lately. But it was still good. It was still okay show, decent show. So that'll do it for me right now. Like usual, you can go to tonyviz.blogspot.com, check out my written recap of the show. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a contact, and of course you can comment as you see fit. And I'll be back on either Tuesday, I guess, or Wednesday with my Raw video, my Raw recap. So till then, I don't know, even if I get, I might even watch Destination X this Sunday, because it looks like a really good show. I haven't seen a TNA pay-per-view actually since January, so I might get this, and if I get that, maybe I'll do a video on recapping that too. So till maybe Monday, and if not Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday. This is the Tony Viz, signing off for right now, and hopefully I'll be feeling I won't. Hopefully this cold will be done with this cold by the time I record my next video. Alright, so that was my Impact video, and thanks a lot for watching. Take care, everybody.